Zafar Abundance Wala, and you're watching Abundance Show. This is Global Abundance Organization Television, GAO TV. And today we are raised by Theodora from Romania. Hello, Theodora, how are you?
Hello, Zafar. I'm fine, thank you. How about you?
I'm good, thank you. We are here to just tell us your story from your childhood, the memories till today, and then we'll be asking your moonshot.
Right. Well, first of all, I have to say that well, I decided to become an artist and a storyteller at an early age. I was 11 when I thought about my future in serious terms, and well, my parents weren't very happy with my ideas back then because I wanted to become an artist. And in Romania at that moment, the labor market wasn't very encouraging this path. Um, my parents both had artistic education. They could have been art teachers both. My mother was good at art, at drawing and everything, and my father was he was good at drawing, actually very good. He taught me about perspective, but anyway, he was with music, and they both realized they couldn't lead the life they wanted. They wanted many children. We are four siblings, and back then teachers earned very little. They were poor people, and they decided to do something else. Also, my mother wanted to take care of us, to give us a proper education. So she was mostly unemployed, always learning something, always doing something for the home and for us, for our education. So these are the memories from my childhood. Now, uh, I remember beginning to learn how to draw from her, asking her, how do I do? Is it right? Is it wrong? I wanted to learn the human body, how to draw it. It, it seemed to me the most difficult thing I could do. And also, during my spare time, instead of getting out and playing with children, sometimes I just closed the door to my room and started writing stories. Nobody knew about that. This was my private thing, and nobody knew I was keeping a journal and I was keeping a notebook with stories of mine. So I was drawing and doing this and thinking about how to become an artist who actually tells the story, to tell the story myself. Then, yeah, I kept drawing until I think during high school too, yes. Not that much, but I did. I was in engaged in French studies at in high school, and at the university. English studies was first the first topic, and yeah, it was a time when I tried to combine everything I knew in the artistic world and to discover, because there were much to discover, and um, art albums and making art was quite expensive. I didn't have fancy tools, I couldn't afford them. um, it was interesting. I had to work. At some point after high school, I said, okay, to follow my dream, I need to work. So I got a job as a salesperson and started from then on to paint and draw more seriously. I wrote a story which I threw away because I got mad at my mistakes, I think. I don't know what was the problem, but eventually it came back, and now I'm trying to do something about it, but more elaborately. I also took one of my stories, old stories in high school, and transform it um, into a trilogy, a fantasy trilogy. And this fantasy trilogy is called Phantomania. And I'm no Phantomaniacs. I'm going to come back to this project. It's part of a bigger project called Phantomania. But I'm going to come back after telling you that I didn't stop at that point when I threw my story. I thought that was the moment when I said, no, this is going nowhere. I'm not going to do this anymore. But after my father died and I had to take care of the family. I'm the eldest daughter, so I was employed. My siblings weren't employed; they were in school, and my mother was unemployed. So I had to do something to help them. And after that, I think I suffered some kind of a shock and wanted to get back to studies. I couldn't find what I could do while working, so I engaged into sociology, tried to do something good with it, didn't work out. I worked with people with autism and children, especially with different kind of disabilities, and learned a lot, but got very depressed. Then I also had my own child when I was doing some charity work. Let's say it was mostly for the school. That's why I wanted to do something that's really important and to learn for real. And I realized I couldn't do that, so I got back to my art lessons and art learning, and learned Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator in 2013. I started learning Adobe Illustrator. It wasn't that difficult because I already knew, with Photoshop, for example, I knew photography. I took classes of photography, so it was easier to understand. And then Adobe Illustrator is interesting. It's different, but there are similarities with Photoshop, and it was even more similar back in their first days. Right now it's different, but there were things that were too similar. Anyway, and now I have learned SketchUp in 2024, I think. 2015. In 2015, I learned SketchUp and CorelDRAW at the job I started. So I started becoming a real graphic designer, thinking, okay, I need to pay for the bills. I want to do something that's at least related to art, and I love doing it. And I absolutely loved doing this, learning 3D and 3ds Max and other 3D tools and SketchUp, of course. It was interesting and fun. Then at the same time, I was working for my private art exhibitions and the books I wanted to publish, because along with learning SketchUp and learning how to create floor plans and spaces, homes that feel good, doing this made me try to think about my inner world and my mind, and try to develop that world too. that space to develop it, and started writing poetry. This was very new for me. I thought I wasn't a poet. I never thought I was a poet. But it started as poetry and eventually grew into novels and poetry and even playwriting. So I did it all, let's say. And I'm still working on a novel. I'm still working on many book projects. I have a whole list of books I want to write. I don't know if I'll have the time in this life, but I do want to cover some. And the two I'm most proud of, I think, um, so far, World Legends and Stories, The Sun and the Moon, and Phantomania, the Phantomania project, of which I've spoken earlier, because they involve getting work from other artists and promoting other artists and writers too, not myself only. I'm there. My work is to combine their work, to bring all their work together and help a magazine and um, an anthology, yes, of fantasy and sci-fi, or in the case of World Legends and Stories, of course, myths and legends. And it's informative, it's fun. I also go to, I create actually workshops, writing workshops, and contests of writing for children and teens, and they get prized and they get published in my anthologies. Of course, I have to do all the work, the editing work, because I want people to understand everything perfectly. But it's such a joy, and the children and the teens are so positive and so happy to participate. They make me feel alive. So it's just amazing.
Wow. Yeah, you're living best life. I mean, what you're doing is you're an artist, you're a writer, and you're working for you've got a lot of things to do for as a philanthropy, and fantastically for the cancer patients. And I love the way you drawing. You are drawing and drawing. What do you call what what do you call this bird, which is one of them favorite. I can't. I'm not recalling its name. You were drawing it on a shirt, and I could see the video on your media wall. It was amazing. It was beautiful, and yeah, it's a hawk. Probably it was hawk or some other bird. I mean, or the like hawk, like big beautiful bird. Again, my first question to you is, Theodora, you through your Mania U project in HP Zine, you actively bring together dozens of global contributors, giving them a platform to publish their fantasy stories and art in an industry that often feels competitive and scarce. How do you cultivate a community rooted in abundance mindset where lifting others up actually expands your own universe?
Well, I always thought that lifting others and doing something for somebody else helps you too. And it does, because first of all, you do feel good. You feel you have a use, a purpose in this world. And this is the idea, to have a purpose and a meaning. I feel I have a meaning, and I felt it's true. Just writing and sending your work to publications and being told, no, you're not good for our publication, but keep going, it's frustrating. So I'm looking for artists who are not that promoted. I'm looking for artists who keep writing and kept writing even if they were told no. Of course, I accept people who were published in the past. I do have artists and writers who have been published in many important and well-known magazines or in anthologies, and it's nice to have them. But I also want to encourage, and I want to encourage the younger generations. And I know how hard it is. Now, I cannot say yes to everybody who applies, because sometimes some people apply with work that doesn't work, that doesn't fall into the fantasy, sci-fi, or paranormal area. It's maybe philosophical. I got a work that's philosophical and it's so good. I wanted to say something. I'm sorry I cannot take only philosophical work. Maybe I'll try to come up with something in this area too, if people want this, and create something that's for philosophy more. But I have to say no if it doesn't fall into the topic. Otherwise, I say yes and do my best to work with the author so that their work shows their mind and soul, but it does show well to the people.
Okay, thank you so much. My next question is again your B Rook project, Artist for a Heart, beautifully bridges raw creative expression with deep social responsibility by raising funds for cancer patients. How can creators shift their thinking from just making art to using their creative capital as a systematic tool for human healing and real world impact?
Well, Artists for a Heart is project. It's an older project of mine. I kind of feel I failed with this project because it started well. I started raising money and giving money to people with cancer who needed it, and it's so expensive and it's so hard to see that they cannot reach the medicine they need, or um, they need to go. Maybe Romania doesn't have all the areas so well uh, prepared, so they have to go to another country to get treated there, and it's awfully expensive. It's a lot. The state does what the state can do, and but I remember a public hospital getting our donations, and they were so happy they could buy a bed for another cancer case. I mean, yes, to take as many people as they can and help them. It's not easy, and everything costs. It costs a lot. How people can do good, I think everybody can do. I would have loved to have the brains to become a doctor, but I'm not a doctor. But what I can do, I can put my work, my art work as an artist, to a good use and sell it and donate. Of course, I don't have to starve for this. I will keep something for myself so I can pay the bills and live and everything. But whatever I can give to somebody else who's in real horrible position, I do it, and they need a lot of attention. Um, they also need to be counseled by psychologists. And some counselors are expensive. There are programs that are free, but they don't work that well, some of them. And it's very interesting. It's I don't know. It I thought I'd do something for them because I saw my grandmother dying from cancer. Then my her daughter, my aunt, died from cancer. My sister was ill. My younger sister was ill and had cancer, and she cannot have children anymore. This is her problem. She wanted children so much. Now she found someone with whom they will adopt a child. I cannot wait to see their child. What will be he or she will be like. Uh, but it's a process. It takes time. We are going to see what happens. I'm just she was a happy case, and I'm very grateful she's alive and well because my God, she went through something horrible, and it's saddening. And this is what I could do. I didn't do much lately in this direction because um, organizing events like this takes money, and I don't have the money to do this, so I have to find funds, and it's really challenging. But sometimes I do get all my work or part of my work and sit in a public place, even if it's not really allowed around here. If the police finds you and you don't have a that there's a document, signed document by the authorities of that city, you cannot do this. You can have any degree, doesn't matter. You have to be to have a signed paper from the authorities, the local authorities. So I cannot do much of that. But sometimes in some places, maybe private places, I went to um, to the mountains. There was a pension there, and we had a small exhibition there, uh, and promoted this project. I don't I don't feel like doing it all myself. People can get to the um, website and find my collaborations. I collaborate with other institutions that do fundraising, and they can donate. They don't have to donate to me. They can donate to those institutions, associations, or they can go directly. I sometimes find cases and send a message or publicly show, okay, this case I know, could you please donate for them in their account directly? So they can do that. It's just, I'm just trying to have a positive influence over people, that's all.
Thank you so much, abundance lady. You've got abundance mind, and you're tuning others to into abundance. Thank you so much. It was amazing and saddening too, knowing about the cancer patients in your family, very close relative. Be it any, it's always painful. But I mean, having your dear near ones into that situation, it's always It's heartening. It's paining. And thank you so much for converting pain into purpose, that getting your time converted into like gift and fundraising for the cancer patient. That's amazing. Theodora, any uh, message that you like to pay, want to communicate to the globe?
Well, I hope what I'm doing does bring meaning and does mean something to the people um, watching right now. Um, I love everything I do. I do with all my heart and soul. That's why sometimes it takes so much of me, and I just can't do anything. I have to close the doors and keep silent for myself and do nothing else, just relax because I am too tired. But I love everything I do, and I hope that through my work, other people, the younger generations, will come and keep doing things like this, whatever they can. That they don't have to do too much. Too much will show in disease, in trouble, illnesses of all kind. Don't do too much. Do what you can and do it as well as you can. That's my message.
Thank you so much, Theodora from Romania. It was our first podcast, and take it as an icebreaker because we'll be deep in dive into your work, your life, your stories, and the purpose you are. And for sure, we did not discuss any of your books, your magazines, your publishing, and then I see you've got a lot to speak about. See you soon again. Thank you so much, Theodore.
Thank you.
Stay blessed and bye-bye.
Stay, stay healthy and abundant.